Okay, everyone. I hesitated on making this video because, frankly, I am very embarrassed. Have already been to a couple of orchid shows this season and have really overdid my budget. Vowed not to go to the Haussermans open house, which was today. Ended up being talked into going with a friend and completely acted like a orchaholic today. Here's my haul. Looks like, well, there's 4 boxes full. So, one of the reasons, well, besides being an orchaholic, that I got so many is just because Haussermans is such an amazing place, and there is such a nice sale there. In addition to them marking down the plants that were on offer, you were also able to go through the greenhouse and, well, through their greenhouses, which I believe they have 6 or 7 large greenhouses, and probably more than that, to be honest. And in addition to them marking the plants down, they also gave you 10% off at checkout. So it's always easy to find many plants that are on your wish list. I also purchased plants that I already have that for some reason I just wanted to get another one, either because I enjoyed the plant, the flower, various reasons why I wanted to get duplicates. Also, I needed to get some plants that I used to have, but for various reasons or another are not in my care anymore, whether I killed them or gave them away or what have you. So let's just get started. I'll begin right here. This first plant, which initially it was $39.99, they marked it down to $19.99. This is a plant that I used to have. I actually tried to mount it and it didn't fare so well. This is a, I would say it's probably the trendy plant of the year among, certainly among the Facebook group, Orchaholics. This is, well, where's the tag? Well, anyway, it is a Balena, Paphiopedilum, and I did lose the tag. Somehow it's got to be in the box. Sorry for the video. But as you can see, there are lots of healthy root tips that are red, green, and the reason that I lost the one that I initially had was that I tried to mount it, and I suppose that I just wasn't providing enough moisture for the plant, and it just did not take to the mount. So I went there with the intention of getting another one so that I would try to mount this particular plant again, this species, and found this one. Well, they had several, but I found this one that was already mounted, and it looks very well established on the mound. All of these root tips. Also, it's got spikes. Don't really see any buds yet, but there are lots of spikes. So, and again, as I said, this was $39 and they marked it down to $19, so can't really fault myself for getting this plant. Let me just move down here. I did end up getting a couple of annuals, which aren't orchids, but I go and get these every year from Haussermans. I got 2 of these, and I did not get them in flower, although they did have several in flower. These are Abutilon, which is a flowering maple. They get very interesting flowers all summer. They do tend to get tall and leggy. The flowers sort of hang upside down, semi-open. These look like sort of like tops, the tops that you kind of spin on the table, but they look like upside down tops. with the colors are red and yellow. And as I said, they do flower all summer, spring and summer. I don't even try to overwinter them. I just leave them in the pots and then just repot them next year. There are some buds on them somewhere in here. They did have several that were in flower, but I did not want any flower ones because they're still a few months away from, well, there's still a few months from spring here. So there's no point in me having flowering annuals at this point in time because they'll probably be all flowered out by the time it's time to plant them. And again, sorry for my video. It's just not cooperating today, or maybe I'm just a little flustered by the amount of plants that I got. Next plant here is a Bulbophyllum. This one happens to be, let me set it down here. This one is Bulbophyllum, I believe it's Elizabeth Buckley. No, it's actually Bulbophyllum Lovely Elizabeth, which is Elizabeth Ann crossed with schilleriana. It's mounted, fairly nice size. It's got, I'm assuming that this is a new growth right here, but lots of nice roots. So couldn't really pass that down. Again, it was marked down. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was $19.99. Okay, the next orchid that I got was, this is a Dendrobium. This is oligophyllum times sibling, Vietnamese species orchid. I wanted this plant for so long. This plant is a miniature. I do like the fact that it is mounted. It does have new growths coming up. Just finished its growth cycle. As you can see, the spent flower and fluorescence that are right there. It's a white, very little dainty flower. Don't think that it has fragrance, but I think it's cute. Moving right along. Finally got another vanilla. I had one of these years ago, but I just wasn't providing, at the time I didn't have enough humidity in the greenhouse, so this is just the vanilla planifolia, I believe. Yeah, planifolia. Fairly common kind of vanilla. And these are on sale for $14.99. Fairly nice length. So I will figure out what I'm going to do with that. Then I also got a Renanthera citrina times inschootiana, $9.99. This, of course, citrina gets the sort of the yellowish flowers. Inschootiana is the more reddish flowers. This is a vanda type. These can get quite tall. So I'll see what I can do with that. Then I got, this is, formerly Coelognye amazonica. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it is a swan bird, BM yoga times select. And it does have a bud on it. Fairly nice sized plant. The last one in this box is alata, which I do believe there are some spikes forming inside of there. This is fragrant, very spicy fragrance actually, on the long inflorescence. I did have one of these and did get a really bad case of scale, which I wasn't able to get rid of, and it eventually, plant eventually expired. So let's hope I have a better results this time around, because it is one of my most favorite plants. Do love the color of the flower. It is a brown with yellow in the lip, maybe some white. And of course it is fragrant, like I said, more of a musky fragrance than the typical sweet fragrance that you see from like cordigera and tampensis, some of the other encyclicals. Anyhow, on to the next box. These are actually plants that I had pre-purchased. They were having a budded orchid sale, and I got these two. This one is Cattleya, which is a pastel color Cattleya. There aren't none open yet, but it is more of a yellow, well, more of a lemony yellow with pink lip, maybe a little lavender or something around the edges of the lip. This is Blc Memoria Dorothy Bertsch Desert Sand AMAOS. And I also got another Angraecum. This is leonis, and it is in bud, as you can see. Fairly nice plant. So I just really picked those up. I did not purchase those. They were already purchased. Moving right along, I got this. This is a cordigera. Mine that I had last year that was really nice, bloomed for me. It actually, there I go dropping plants again, or topping over plants. This was $19.99 for this large plant, multiple bulbs. It's actually got a couple spikes coming on, 1, 2 right there. It is previously bloomed, as you can see by the spent flower spikes. I thought this was a very nice price, $19.99. And the one that I had last year, as I was saying, after it bloomed, I remounted it and ended up leaving it in a location in my greenhouse that got too much sun for it, and it got sun burned, and it really did not recover. The bulbs just really desiccated, which kind of made me sad. But I got another one at a good price, so I'm pretty happy. Okay, moving on to this box. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff out of here. Let me start down here. This is a Dendrobium linguella. I'm assuming this is probably included now in the Dockrilla group, because it kind of looks to be of that type. Although I've never heard of it, I'll have to do some research on it. I just thought it was cute, and for $6.99, hell, what the hell. Figured I would try it out. This one I got, this is a little mini Cattleya. That's in bud. This is a Blc Bouton door. It's got a couple buds on it. I believe I saw some of them that were open. This says sort of a light yellow with the red around the edges. Then in here I got, this is a species path. This is stuartiana, $6.99 in flower. And I also got schilleriana. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Yeah, there you go. And looks like the flowers are starting to open. I think this one might be a little bit fragrant, or it's supposed to be. But on these two, I do love the mottled foliage, and they were both fairly inexpensive, $7.99 and $6.99. I might actually mount these up, but we'll see. Okay. This is another Angraecum. This is Angraecum magdelenae. I've always wanted one of these. Pretty hard to get, but they had little seedlings of them. These plants course, they are white and fragrant. This is the queen of the Angraecoids. Do believe these like it a little bit more on the cooler intermediate side. So we will see how that fares out for me. Also in here, here's that little dendrobium that we were talking about last night on the Facebook group, Orchaholics. I actually had got a mounted one that wasn't in bud, and then I went down the rows of the greenhouse and saw that they had them potted up that were in bud. So I was like, I might as well get it. And this was $7.99. And this is Dendrobium trantuanii. Andes times PA. Okay. But it's in bud. Love those pseudobulbs. Very unusual. Okay. This is Coelognye mayeriana. And this was $17.99. Big multi-bulb plant. And it is in spike, as you can see over here. These plants, this is actually the closest Coelognye that looks like Pandarata, which is, is a greenish flower with darkish black lip. Some people call it the black orchid. I'm not sure why, because it's mostly green. But I could not pass that by. I do have one already that's in the greenhouse, but it is not flourishing. It's growing, but the growths are pretty weak. I need to really figure out what to do with this one. I want to do something different with it. Probably maybe buy a big, huge piece of cork and mount it. I wish I could get a big tree trunk and put it in my greenhouse and just mount it up the side of that. We'll see though. But I have some time to figure that out because this spike, it'll take a little while for it to form. Then this is another Angraecoid. This is Arangus Elysiae. $12.99. These kind of remind me of Vandas, but it is an Angraecoid. Does get spikes from within the leaf bracts and long inflorescence with sort of birds in flight with long spurs, pristine white color, fragrant at night. I did have one of those, but after it bloomed, it kind of killed itself. So I wanted to get another one, and I've been waiting all year to go to Haussermans so I could get another one. And they had all different sizes. They had some that were smaller than this, then they had these, and then they had more blooming sized. Although I think this might be approaching blooming size, but they had some that were in 4-inch pots, and I just didn't feel like spending the money because I had already got a cart full, as you can see. Then I got a Rhynchostylis. This one is the red variety, Gigantea, the red form. Again, at a good price. I know at some point I'm gonna have to take this out of the pot and put it in a basket. I'm not sure what media I will use yet. But yeah, nice red tint to the leaf. Pretty excited about that. Then over here, this is a plant that I have wanted for a while and have been afraid to get because I've killed so many of these. But hopefully, since I sort of have the greenhouse putting out a lot of humidity these days and maintaining those conditions, maybe I'll have more success with it. This is Arangus lutea alba, rotosticta. Well, this is just rotosticta, but I believe it's also called lutea alba. It gets long cascading spike of white with some orange in the lip. Very pretty. Miniature, stays small. Then I got this which is another Rhynchostylis, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, this is Rhynchostylis retusa. Small little baby retusa. Yeah, it actually has 2 plants in the pot. So pretty happy about that. I will, again, I might actually either divide this and put them both into little baskets, or maybe I'll just leave this in here till it gets to be a little bit bigger and then do something with it. I'm not sure yet. But these, just like the other Rhynchostylis, they get, you know, the inflorescence come from inside and then cascade down, and they're very fragrant. This is Arangus fastuosa, and this has got a spike on it right there. And these get little white, very full flowers that are fragrant, and they bloom underneath the leaf. Very big for the size of the plant. And this actually looks pretty dry. I need to give it a water pretty quickly. So, and that's that. This plant is a deciduous dendrobium. This is Dendrobium Nestor. I do have one of these in the greenhouse. Mine is very spindly, and this caught my eye, just the length of the new growth. And look, there's a bud down there, and I dropped the plant. Anyway, crap happens. So anyway, yeah, this looks like it's forming. I don't know whether those are going to be kikis or whether or not those are going to be flower buds. So I ended up getting that as well. And I know I will have to mount this. These are the deciduous types, as I said. Then I got Dendrobium Nestor, which is I believe it's a natural hybrid between Superbum and the other one. Can't think of it right now. And I'm trying to keep this video short, so I'm not going to think too hard about it. Precia, I believe. And so it's got some spikes forming, and also, not spikes, but buds. It's in bud, and there's one right there. I don't know if that's going to make it or not, but we'll probably have to mount this up as well. $12. Okay. Moving right along, this one right here is my big, huge Chysis aurea. This plant, this is the newest suitable. They kind of just staked it up like that, but it is this is the newest suitable. Like I said, these are deciduous as well. So I need to put this in a basket. The flowers come up from the new growth as it emerges, and they are a orange, not an orange. Yeah, an orange and yellow fragrant flower. And like I said, it does emerge from the new growth. But this is a fairly robust plant. Look how big it is. It's got to be blooming size. So hopefully with the next new growth on it, I will get some flowers. Down here, I believe this is another fastuosa that I got. I wanted to get 2 of them. I want to mount one and probably keep one in the pot, see how it does. Don't think this one is in spike or not. Thought it was. Yeah. No, maybe not. That's a looks like a root. Anyway, I'll probably mount that one up. Then I got this. This is one that I wanted for a while. This is Schilleriana Kingpin times Sanderianum, which I believe is Prince Edward of York. I believe that's what it is. So this is a 2-fan plant. Still has a little bit ways to go as far as before it gets to be mature blooming size, but for $14 you can't go wrong with that, so I'm pretty happy. And these will get Rothschildian type flowers with Sanderianum type curly, long, I don't know, I don't want to call them lips, but not the lip, but the, I'm not, it's too early in the morning, I haven't had coffee. But anyway, if it blooms, I'll make sure I show it to you. Then again, okay, we got this one. This used to be an Angraecum. This is a Miziella Monticola, and it is in bud. I don't believe the flowers are fragrant, but it is a miniature. Will stay this small. And this plant is Phalaenopsis species hieroglyphica. I had one of these in my greenhouse and it just didn't do so well. It slowly rotted itself to death. So hopefully I will have better luck with this. It is in spike, has several of them. No flower buds that are visible, but there are green tips on the roots. And it looks like the media is a little bit worn for the wear, or well for the worn, or however you say it. Okay, then I got these 2 paths, which are really specialty paths. This one is Path Cascade. I'm not sure what it'll look like, but it's a cross between Angraecum and Prince Edward of York times Jardinieri. The guy that I got this from at the Haussermans open house said it would be very spectacular and very unusual. And it will exhibit all the characteristics of all the plants. I do love the purple stem, and it is a multifloral. So we will see about that. And last but not least, I got this. This is Lady Isabel, and it is in flower. He did say these flowers have already been open for about 4 weeks, and he said they will last for another 3 or 4, so I plan to enjoy every bit of them, as this is kind of one of my favorite hybrids. Love the color of it. I do believe this has some stony eye in it, which I love. And that is pretty much my haul. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and sorry for all of my fumbles, and hopefully I didn't butcher up too many of the names. And as always, enjoy your orchids.